Well, this is day 2 of coffee and drawing and coffee. This is from this gorgeous place in Galena called Otto's Place. And their motto is, we wish you enough. Enough that you're happy and that you're content and that it's not always this need to achieve or overstride, but just to be content. And sometimes that is the best place to start when you're going to do a drawing. Today I have a busy day and I want to get this video not done, but I want to accomplish that in the sense of not achieving something, but just this is my personal way of really expanding myself out. At the end of 30 of these, I'm going to have such a clear understanding of what does it look like to commit to something for 10 minutes a day? And that's what this is, a 10-minute video. So what does that look like? And I don't know what this looks like. I know that I'm like, all right, I drink coffee in the morning and I loved it throughout all my life. I've had friends that I coffee with, either in person years ago when the girls were little, or now on Zoom, but just that lovely contact and just a kind of relaxing moment in prep for the day. So that leads me to enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is something that doesn't just happen. It's something that you actually create. And the word itself comes from entheos, which is to be enthused with. God was the original because it came out of the setting up or the preparation of a ritual or some sort of thing where you were invoking or calling something. And so artists look at that as calling the muse. Of course, you could use that as God. You could, whatever that word is, but it's something that is, you're bringing it in, you're bringing in a consciousness of something else or a spirit of something else. And it makes me think of Japanese tea ceremonies, things where things are done with such utter care that you're actually creating some sort of environment. And in NaNoWriMo, which is the national, I think, is that not November, the National Writing Month, where for 30 days you write 1,600 words a day. Yeah, and I love that too. But the idea, he also puts in there this idea of having a sacred pen or a sacred place and a sacred time. So for 10 minutes for me, this isn't just about pushing a drawing out. It's more of, all right, if I have these 10 minutes, how am I going to spend them? And in what attitude can I start building an enthusiasm for my work for the day ahead? So I'm going to share my screen. And this is, for me, kind of the starting point. So I have a brush to get this kind of stuff off when I make pencil marks. I have a blender. I have an eraser. This is a little mono zero eraser, and I love this. It's just so small. It is, watch this, it's absolutely covered with green right now. I do this all the time. I erase, and then I will get that green like on someone's face. If I'm doing a portrait or something, that's always fun. So right there, paying attention, that's part of it. This is my blender. I've got an 8B today, and then I just have a white colored pencil. Also a good idea, make sure there's not stuff all over this, which of course there is. So even in today, this is my kind of my ritual space. It's sat here at my desk. It's a white piece of paper with this green on it now. But drawing can be as simple as just connecting the pencil. And because this is a 8B, it's really a nice dark. So I'm just starting with a shape. And even with just this, I'm going, all right, we got a kitten, which I don't know how a good idea that was because it's constantly crying. And our older cat hates it, but eventually in time. But okay, I'm seeing kitten in this. So for me, I'm switching over to a blender because I am not the best drawer in the world. I need a lot of my right brain in this because my inner critic is not so hot when it comes to, like, okay, I see a foot going out. I'm just literally making this up, okay? Because I saw it in here. And a lot of times that's how my drawings start. I'll see something in the paper. I'll start with a line and all of a sudden it becomes something else. So now, because I've let my left brain go wild a little or like take a break, All right, I'm going to stop drawing and talk because I can't do both. So by doing it this way, I checked out my left brain. I'm not really overanalyzing this because I'm not cueing into whether it looks like a cat or not. It's just kind of this random shape right now. And I'm not overly critical of it. So when I go back in now, I can see, all right, I do have kind of this cool shape maybe of a cat. And there. And this new kitten that we have is kind of like a tabby. So I'm going to add some stripes and put some whiskers in up here. But it's just it's the simplest thing. It's not anything really that it's, it's a start and it's the beginning. And as I look at this, I think, okay, I can add some shading, put this in maybe a little bit more stripes. It's got this as a view up here. So maybe I make this a window, but all this kind of stuff just becomes, what is the play? What is the place I can get myself into this morning with my coffee and with you and just doing something very, very quick, scribbles. This isn't a masterpiece. It's not meant to be a masterpiece. It's just kind of an idea of, all right, there. Now that I finished it, I've got a cat, maybe looking out a window. And maybe that to me, I can look into this and divine a little out of this, my day, looking out a window, maybe being excited going ahead and facing the day and not being worried about what the day is going to bring, but just to be present and just to be observant. And so much for me, that's how my day starts, almost always being in that quiet space. And usually, yes, with a cup of coffee, but setting the tone of the day and setting it kind of in an artful way. And that for me is the beginning of building enthusiasm, not just for my drawing, but for my entire day ahead of me. So I've got a drawing out of the way that gives me a great sense of accomplishment right off the bat. On a really busy day when I may not have time to go back to that, drawing is definitely my therapy and always has been. And it doesn't always have to be this tremendous going into, it's going to be a masterpiece, which I do a lot. This kind of drawing is difficult for me because I like to have it thought out. I like to have it very deeply researched. I like all my symbols, and it doesn't have to be that. Sometimes it can just be the most simplest line, and you start freewheeling off of it and you start maybe getting a glimpse into something that your subconscious is working on. And that can be so valid as well. It's not always looking for shading and lighting and all this. It's something very simple. And for me, that boils down to how does that start percolating up out of you? How do you become enthusiastic in a day that's crowded and busy? But if you don't set the space, if you don't have that little bit of light, I guess, that comes in or that you allow in, something to build on. And so I'm going to take this cat picture with me today. And I don't know. I don't know how that's going to unfold, but it will because I paid attention to it this morning. So that is number 2 video and I'm doing this for 30 days. So it can only get better. It can't get worse. Well, maybe it can, but you'll be there to see that. So enjoy your day and build some enthusiasm into your day, just for you, not about anything, but just about you're here. And that's a beautiful thing. And I will see you tomorrow with